Hey, what's up, guys? It's gonna be a little bit of a different tone tonight. If you thought yesterday's was bad, bro, just give me a second. I'm trying to finish up something real quick. I'm gonna be going through this without the photos first, because I want to kind of give some perspective, and when I'm done with that, Brad's gonna come on and we're gonna take a look at a couple things that don't really add up. Okay, so just to put this out there, since I am not going to be sharing the photos on my first read through, I will share the text so you guys can read along. Um, TPHGMHS. Yes, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just tired. Um, yeah, it is like 11:15 here, so yeah. And then also, I was kind of half asleep earlier when I was over there watching swimming trials with my sister, and then about an hour and a half after that, I started kind of dozing off. So yeah, I'm definitely okay. No, I'm okay. I don't have a nothing's wrong. It's fine. Yeah, we're all good. When I say take a different tone, I just mean like this is going to be like it's not like a fun thing to read. Um, and it's actually highly offensive, and not no part of this is okay. But I think it's important to talk about it. So all right, just make sure I got everything here. So I'm just seeing the first part of this, and it's already like, wow. Okay. 1 second. Pull this up. So like I said, I'm gonna share it in a Google Doc first. When I go through it with Brad, we'll have the whole thing up with pictures and all that. Um, but we're just gonna read this first. Now the title of this is "Don't Tell Me I Wasn't Abused. You Weren't There." And I said this yesterday, right before I started, but if I believed that this person was acting out of like true debilitating mental illness, if I believe she didn't like really understand the consequences of her actions and what she's doing, I wouldn't be talking about this right now. This is gross. This is gross. But it's the same shit we've been seeing. What I'm about to say, these are my opinions based on the information and beliefs that I have. I'm not diagnosing anyone here. I'm actually not really going to talk that much about mental health at all, even though that's kind of like the perspective I usually get into. But I don't want to I don't want anyone to comment on her stuff. I don't want anyone to message her. I don't want anyone to contact her, her family, or anyone affiliated with her in any way. Just leave it be. It's fine to talk about it amongst ourselves. This is, we're doing this for the purpose of discussion. And this is a public figure that's been involved in a very public case. So, but as far as, like her regular day to day life, we have no business, having anything to do with her. So I just want to make that very clear. Um, this is awful. Number one, because I know the person being accused here, like I only met the guy in court, the one day, June 10th. And you know, I already feel for him. I mean, we all heard Megan's interviews and it's been dude, this has been rough. So the reason I could have like waited till tomorrow even to talk about this, but the reason I'm doing it right now is because this like really hits hard if you've actually been through the things that she's talking about. So it's like a twofold thing that makes me pretty, I don't even want to say upset or angry, it just makes me feel disgusted. Like on the one hand, having been through some of these things, it's awful to see somebody exploit that issue. And on the other hand, it's awful to see somebody exploit that issue to ruin a good person. So, as I said, these are going to be my opinions and beliefs. They're not concrete facts, but neither is most of this essay. So, and I want to be clear, I believe Mike Marracini. I believe he's telling the truth. So, when I speak on these things, just keep in mind that I'm speaking in my opinion based on the fact that Michael Marracini is a much more credible person than Laura Owens. Okay. You, the online cult of Justice for Clayton, have twisted my life into your grotesque narrative, turning my truth into your lies, and painting men I used to date who I have restraining orders against as martyrs. You gather around hashtags, Reddit threads, and Twitter feeds, hell-bent on destroying me and dismissing my reality, especially what happened between me and my ex from 2016 to 2017. Yeah, the one I got a domestic violence restraining order against in 2018, which was renewed in 2020 until 2025. The one you claim wasn't violent, you know? One of the ones you call my victim. I'm over it. Really. Just today, I saw a tweet saying hashtag Laura Owens has falsely accused multiple men. You act like you have some inside knowledge of my life. Let me be clear. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. You weren't there. So, obviously, she is not, going to stay away from the internet anytime soon. And as long as she continues to slander innocent people, as long as the evidence points towards her not being credible, I don't know. I think that the best thing that we can do is talk about it, because I don't think that anybody should be able to push a narrative like this without any sort of like questioning or criticism if that person has a known history of fabricating evidence and making false claims. I mean, this is someone who changed their story in court on the day of trial and someone who has admitted to doctoring medical evidence. And that's very important because any evidence posted in a Medium article, when this person has, like doctored medical evidence used for purposes of making someone, believe they were pregnant or maybe used in a court case. I don't know if she directly submitted it, but I mean, why would I believe something posted in a Medium article if you would doctor a document in a much more important context? So, Julia Ann, um, he probably will, and that sucks. But I'm sure she was angry when she saw his interview, and this is her way of lashing out at people. So, just my opinion. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. Okay. You spend your days scrutinizing every aspect of my life, trying to ruin me. You act as if you have the right to judge me, to question my integrity, to label me a liar. You weren't there when I dated him in 2016 and 2017. You didn't hear the threats. You didn't feel the fear. You have no idea what it felt like to have your self esteem crushed to nothing by his words. You don't understand the intense self hatred I felt for not valuing myself enough to leave. You made me feel like I was worthless. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. You weren't there. Hmm. Those would be powerful words from a credible source, but she is not one. And I say that because she gets a lot of things right here. It's just, I believe this is a fiction. I have been abused in my life. I have been ashamed of it. I know what it's like to not have any self esteem left. And I can't say for sure that she's never been abused in her life, but my opinion is that I feel very certain she wasn't abused by Mike Marracini. And I think that this right here is a calculated attempt to attack his character because people are starting to catch on. So, the reason I wanted to read this is because I feel like it's important to also give women's perspectives. Um, yes, it's like not like I haven't seen a lot of cases where there's been, a bunch of male victims like this, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I haven't seen it, and like people might be more hesitant to speak up on behalf of male victims or, protect male victims because they might be afraid that the offender, the woman who is abusing these men, makes women look bad. Especially because this person is now trying to kind of rally some kind of feminist movement with her words in her recent posts, saying it's a dangerous thing for women, the ruling in her case. It's not. It's not. Now I'm fine. This was a long time ago. Um, and it's not something that really comes to my mind in day to day life anymore. Like it feels like a different life because I was really young. Not like child young, but like, just young adult. Um, and it's just it's hard to see this and remember those things and be like, am I doing the right thing by saying publicly that I disagree with this person by looking at something so serious and so like what feels almost desperate and denouncing that, like, because you gotta think, like, if you're any decent person, and this is what she exploits, really, if any decent person is gonna have a little shred of doubt no matter what, pretty much. So I always stop and I think, like, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I doing something that is only going to cause harm to someone that's not going to do any good? Like, because I don't need that, right? I mean, I'm happy to just like be here and play games with my friends here and stuff like that. But as long as somebody keeps doing this, I am going to keep talking about it because as like awful as it is to have gone through that kind of abuse in my past, what's even more awful is like remembering, like feeling like I don't want anyone to know this. I don't think anyone will believe me, and like knowing like how kind of beloved your abuser is in some cases. It's like it's very very hard to speak up, and it's almost like I don't feel embarrassed at this moment in time, but I did for a long time, and just it's extremely offensive to read stuff like this, knowing that this person has no credibility and is kind of using that experience to harass, to defame someone. And a lot of what she reads, it's like she's like talking like she's one of her victims. It's interesting. And again, that's just my opinion, but I don't know. And I'm not like, I know everybody's like being really nice, being like, "Oh, we're here for you," or whatever. And like, I'm not like, this person's not gonna like get to me that much because I know this game that she's been playing for a long time. So like, it's just hard. It's just hard to kind of read that and relive that, and then just to think like, I can't believe someone's making a mockery of this awful thing that happens to so many people. And not only that, but using it as a weapon to hurt someone good. So, yes, I think that it is important for women to speak out against stuff like this. Like, you can't, it's not okay to overlook things. It's not okay to not talk about things just because you're afraid that it might, like discredit some other people. Like, you have to speak out when someone's being dishonest. Like, you can't just sacrifice innocent victims in the name of hopefully, maybe changing some minds about something that might happen down the line. So no, I don't believe that speaking out against this is really going to ruin a Me Too movement. I don't believe that. That's just my opinion. Um, I understand why people feel that way. I understand, like, if she, somebody who has brought herself into the media spotlight is now making it look like, oh, see, people might point to her and be like, look, see, people are crazy. They just like lie and make stuff up. Like, I have no interest in discrediting victims, but I'm not willing to sacrifice other innocent people to maintain that, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm really saying it the way I want to. I'm trying, but you know, I was a victim of serious DV, but was way too embarrassed to publicize it. Still am. I mean, that's how a lot of us feel, I think. Unicorn says she's honestly not that important that she could bring down a social movement. I agree. I agree. And also, I feel like not acknowledging that this is wrong and not kind of, talking about these actions and pointing out that it does happen, that does more to discredit victims than anything else. So, and you're right that she's not, important enough to really derail a whole movement. So, I don't know. It's hard because everything is like so political now, and I don't, talk about what side of whatever I'm on really. It's just hard because it's so political now that people are afraid to speak up where they should. So, Crystal M, are you talking about some of these on the article? Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Brad. We're gonna talk with Brad about that. Um, as soon as I'm finished reading this. But yeah, so anyways, I doing the best I can to kind of articulate my thoughts here, but like I said, I just kind of like came up and decided we're just gonna address this now. Um, so I didn't really have time to think about what I wanted to say. Just kind of winging it here. But we're not even close to done. So let's let's keep going. Hang on. Let me get to these first. Hear me out. Thank you for the 5. Winston W, thank you for the 2. Appreciate that. Hear me out says, by the way, I was the victim of a very bad false accusation at a very small college my freshman year. It was said by her as a cover for another relationship. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That really sucks. Um, Lauren, did you read my Medium article here? I have not seen it yet. I was like really busy today. I had work and then I went over to hang out with my sister and I was just trying to take care of some other stuff in between that. Like I'm still in school and all that, so um I have not yet, but if you send it to me, I will take the time to read it. It just might not be timely. All right. Every time I see the venomous rhetoric from Justice for Clayton, I'm transported back to the worst moments of my life. You weren't there when I was hiding bruises. You weren't there when I was crying myself to sleep. You weren't there when, at the end, his mother left me countless voicemails begging me to call her back and stay with him. You weren't there at the end of 2017 when I was desperately seeking a way out. I stayed on the East Coast for weeks, trying to leave the relationship slowly so as not to upset him. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. You weren't there. This is what I'm talking about when I say she speaks like almost as if she's one of her victims. Like with the thing about his mother calling and leaving countless voicemails. Like we know that her parents, um, per Michael Marracini, asked him to like do anything and everything they could, like stay with her just to like prevent her from hurting herself. So yeah. This is also just like it's reading very much like the manipulative blog post that came out right before the trial. Um, it's like taking real experiences and like real things that people have suffered with and like trying to guilt people into believing it. Trying to guilt people into saying like, well, there's just no way like we have to stop talking about this because like clearly like something's wrong with her like she's been through so much and it's just not right to do it anymore. Okay, but if you let people get away with stuff like this, when they're clearly being vindictive, in my opinion, and when they're clearly just trying to hurt someone else, if you let people use it as an excuse to get you to look the other way when they're doing something terrible, it's not good. There are people out there who will say like it's gross to even talk about this, but in my opinion, having been an actual victim of abuse, having actually survived that and come through it on the other side a very different person, I think it's even more gross to not talk about it. I think it's even more gross to not speak up for the person on the other end of this who's being hurt. So, I don't really care for those people because I'm not going to stay silent or yeah, like on behalf of somebody who is going through something awful. So, that's just how I choose to kind of handle my own business. Look, I know how he comes off at first. Of course I do. That's how you see him. And obviously, that's why I fell for him. He seemed sweet, kind, and loving. A teddy bear, as you called him. But that's not who he is. He suffocated me with a pillow to the point of being unconscious. Strangled me regularly, slapped me, left me with bruises, and you call him innocent? You weren't there. He made me feel less than human. He lied about everything. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. This is just like it's hard to even read it all at once, which is why I think I'm pausing so much because I'm just like this is just like absolutely this is one of the worst things I've ever read. Um and I've read some weird shit because I work with like some pretty sick people. So, like I said, that's not what we're looking at here. This person, like I'm not saying she doesn't have problems. I'm saying her problems are not the type that can be used as an excuse for this behavior. And I don't hate her. I don't wish her harm. In fact, I want everyone to leave her alone. Like, it's okay to talk about her. It's okay to talk about what she's done. It's not okay to really. we don't have any business contacting her. We don't have any business contacting anyone in her circle. There's no reason to do that. I understand there's like funny, jokes and memes and stuff like that, and I'm guilty of like some jokes as well sometimes. But honestly, I think that those things should be kept in private conversations. I don't want to give this person any more fuel to write something like this and put it out on the internet, because when we make jokes like really like jokes that she can use to like say people are being horrible to her like this, it's not like it's really just hurting her, which is, I don't want to hurt her. That's not what I want. Um it's really hurting the person on the other end of this. In this case, that would be Mike. So, thinking about how like sometimes the things we have said she's been able to point to, and you'll see this later when you see all the images in the post, just thinking about how that's been used, like even though like some of what's said is very true, even though it might seem harmless, and like yes, she should stay off the internet. She should, you know, not seek out things like this. I feel like the best way to kind of stop this sort of negative outburst towards an innocent victim is to honestly just kind of keep those kinds of conversations private. Like keep the jokes private. You want to talk to your friend and make jokes about the case because it's bizarre? Absolutely. Like I make jokes too, but I try not to openly insult her or anything like that. And I'm not like calling anyone out specifically. I'm just saying in general because I know how the internet is. I think we all know how the internet is. Um, that just right now specifically, I think it's important to kind of keep a lid on some of it. Just like don't be like intentionally offensive, I guess. Like make fun of what she does, sure. Just make sure you're not making fun of her. Because when you're making fun of her, she might pick it out and use it to, and in my opinion, this is harassment. Use it to harass one of her victims. So I'm just saying be careful. I'm not telling you don't talk about it. Obviously, I'm talking about it right now. I'm just saying be careful, and be careful not to offend or like insult the person openly. Like this is just not. We're dealing with a really really odd thing here. I am all for pointing out like inconsistencies and what's kind of like not adding up and stuff like that. But as far as like her photos and stuff, like I'm not ever gonna be somebody who's comfortable like commenting on her photos, even if it's just talking about the way she does like filters or something. Like I'm not comfortable with that, because I think it just leads to more of this. And it's not like if I were to make a comment like that and then she were to use it to point to like this group of people and be like they're a cult and they're verbally abusing me or whatever. Like if I did that and she used that and then it got pointed at Mike the way this article is, like I would feel pretty terrible. So yeah. A stranger who heard him verbally abuse me had the guts to slip me a note on a plane ride to Iceland, telling me I deserve better. She left her email and wrote in her declaration, based on what he was saying to her, I believe she was in a frightening situation and needed to get out. He was so menacing, I felt her life was at stake, were she to stay with him. She saw it, she heard it, she knew the truth and had the courage to document it. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. So, a note on a napkin, that's not really documenting it. Like somebody wrote you a note based on their interpretation of what they were hearing. And like Mike in his interview, I encourage everyone to listen to that if you haven't, kind of explains some of that. Like she would not stop. So what that woman might have been hearing was like reactions to somebody who's like emotionally terrorizing this person. And then the person who's being terrorized, like their reactions might not be very nice. And when that woman might have heard what he was saying just to try to like defend himself and get her to stop, like she might have thought like that was pretty upsetting because she didn't know the context of the situation. That is my opinion. Again, I can't confirm napkin lady's thoughts or, what happened, but that's what I think happened. That's my belief. Hear me out. I didn't even do anything. I took this girl that I really liked on one date, and then I was ruined for 4 years. I'm sorry, man. That's so rough. Just like this psycho, 3 years after she lied, she come up to me and said, "Why are you mad at me? I didn't mean anything bad." I mean, there's some really, really shady people out there, man. Um, I'm sorry that happened though, and thank you for your support. I always appreciate that. Well, left to all my fellow DV survivors out there of all genders, be gentle with yourselves and each other despite triggering moments like this. Thank you, Wallace, and I appreciate the 10. Okay. You want to get my podcast interviews I've done speaking about her and how she saved me from an abusive relationship off the internet. Let's remember I've never said his name. You want my TEDx talk taken down? A talk that was about this exact interaction? One bizarre theory of yours is that I hired her. No, I don't think that. I don't believe that. I'm sure there are people that believe that, and like I'm not gonna, like knock anyone for believing that. I'm not gonna be like you're stupid. You know what I mean? I just don't believe that. I believe that that woman kind of heard reactions to emotional abuse and didn't know the context of what she was hearing, and she made a mistake. That's my belief. Yeah, I bought a plane ticket for a stranger to sit in front of me on a flight to Iceland and just knew he would be horrendous to me on the plane. Or you say that I wrote the note myself, and you even spent money hiring handwriting experts. Um, my again, like, I don't know what she's talking about here. I'm not even saying it didn't happen because I don't know. I don't know. I don't have time to keep up with every detail of all this, but like big stuff like this, I'll like pay attention to. Um, I I did not do anything like that, so like I don't feel bad about that. Like I just told you guys my theory is that that woman misunderstood and made a mistake. That is my opinion. I do not care enough about the note to hire a handwriting expert. I just don't, because I think that this person has lost all credibility, just based on her behavior in court, the things she's done throughout the trial process. Like that's my belief. That's my opinion. Um, so I wouldn't really care if the handwriting matched or not. I believe that anything maybe out of character, even anything sort of negative Michael Marracini might have said or perceived negative that he might have said. I believe that was a reaction to being treated very horribly when he really just wanted to be left alone. Guess what? She exists. She left her email on the note. She wrote a declaration in support of me, saying she was scared of him. I know her now. He knows she exists. He doesn't deny this. Neither do I. Laura, nothing will stop Laura. What we do or don't do won't change. You know, that's probably true, but I mean, she'll keep doing her thing no matter what. But we don't need to give her ammunition. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with like being horrible back to her just because she's gonna be a jerk anyways. That's just not my stance. I don't know if that's really what you were saying, but if it was, I just don't agree with it, and that's okay. The woman who dated him after me saw through his facade too. She reached out to me and said, I never got a chance to say this before, but I just wanted to say thank you for giving me the heads up on him, and I apologize for not believing you at the time. Woman to woman, I just want you to know that I appreciate what you did. She continued, I really do appreciate it because it opened my eyes to some serious deception. So thank you again. I blocked him on every platform when I ended things, so I have no idea what he's up to, and I've avoided interactions with him at all costs. If that woman If that woman really said that, if that woman really believes that, then, I don't know what to say. I don't know what happened in his relationship with that woman. I don't know that woman at all. I don't know if she's ever faked medical evidence. I only know about Laura. So, it's just, if that woman is out there, if that woman's out there and she did not say these things, if she never said these things to Laura Owens, if she's watching this somehow, please let me know, because I'm happy to help you get that word out there. Only if it's the truth. And don't go trying to find or contact her, guys. Really. I don't want that. Um, just if somehow this gets in front of the right eyes and she sees this and she says, "Oh my god, this is not I never said that. That's not the case." Then hopefully she will reach out. Oh my god, a tweet just now while I'm writing this from Seeking Justice for All Victims of Laura Owens. Jesus Christ. Showed a video of me falling off a horse claiming it was taken by him. Insane. My mom took that video in San Juan Capistrano in June 2017, a full month after I had seizures. He was in San Francisco at the time. I sent him the video. He wasn't there. And guess what? Neither were you. That is, I'm not going to take her word for it. I'm just not. I don't believe she's credible. So, as I said in the beginning, these are my opinions based on the fact that I believe Mike Marracini. Then there are the tweets from Amanda H., tagging Uber's chief legal counsel and spreading lies about me alleging epilepsy in my filings against them. Seriously, I never alleged epilepsy in the Uber filings. Go get them from the court if you're so convinced that I did, or better yet, go get a hobby. Let's talk about that. We all kind of know Laura watches and reads all this stuff, and I don't want her to. I wish that she would, put the computer down and walk away and like do something with her talents that could bring some good in the world. Like she's not like it's not that she can't do anything good. It's just that she's done a lot of really awful things, in my opinion. Um so yeah, I think telling people to get a hobby is just kind of an interesting thing to do when you're like making alts to like infiltrate servers on Discord and Reddit and just like constantly reading about yourself and like recording everything people do. Like, I don't know. But like you platformed yourself by going to the media. She platformed herself by going to the media and she now like puts stuff out like this and wonders like why people are criticizing it. Like stop putting it out there. So it's just like I don't know. It's hard. Like I said, it's hard because I'm reading some of this and I'm just like I just want to like ugh, just say like why are you doing this? Just stop. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like she's going to stop. So I can't, force anyone to stop reading or watching or whatever if this is upsetting to them. Like I can't make her stop watching my stuff or reading my stuff. I wish she would stop because I'm not trying to go out of my way to get her attention. But when she puts something out like this with the intention of getting other people's attention, yeah, I'm going to talk about it. Especially when my belief is that this is almost none of this is factual, in my opinion. I don't believe it. Then there's the pregnancy. He knew I was pregnant. He went to Planned Parenthood with me, one near his job. See? In his own words, because she knew I was working out there, that it would be closer if I went with her to be there for support. You claim I made up the pregnancy to stay with him, to trap him. He said he would stay with me whether or not I had an abortion. He said, I just said I would stay in her life with or without the child. She loves doing this. I believe that. Yeah. I don't know, like, stuff like this paragraph here, like, if you are with somebody who, like, wants to see the good in you, wants to believe you, and this is somebody that you've been involved with, and, like, they wanna believe that you wouldn't make this up, I could see why, like, some of the stuff they would say would be like, "Yes, I believe she was pregnant," because why would you jump to thinking somebody's lying about something like that, you know? Like, saying somebody, like, thought I was see, they thought I was pregnant, they believed me or whatever, that's not a flex. That's just like, "See, look how good I was at manipulating them. Good for you." Let's not forget your claim that I told him I had cancer. Really? Where is the mention of cancer in his 142-page deposition? He mentions that I had polycystic ovaries. You really think he forgot I had cancer? It's just another lie to discredit me. Anyone in the chat who has any law experience, I don't know if Big Tiff is here, but if you guys know, like, in the deposition, like, don't they just answer the questions that are asked? Am I wrong about that? Because I, like, legit, I don't know. Um, it's in the 1,000 text message document. Who cares if they mention cancer in depo? Yeah. So, in a deposition, if he was not asked about her cancer claim, would he be talking about her cancer claim? That's what I'm trying to get at. Sorry, guys. I put gaps here where I took, like, the media out, like the photos and stuff. Debbie, yeah, it's from Medium. Okay. No, if he didn't get asked, her lawyer wouldn't ask him. So, saying, like, she's saying that because he never mentioned that in the deposition means clearly she didn't, like, fake cancer or whatever, even though there's a forensic expert who proves those documents came from her. Like, that's a fact. Um, but I don't think that that would make it into the court transcript unless he were specifically asked about it, right? Oops, sorry. He could go on about it even if not asked, and if there was no objection levied, then it would get in the transcript. It is all written down on a transcript. Okay, so an attorney would usually advise against answering questions that weren't asked in a deposition. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't find that to be, like, an actual valid excuse. Like I said, we all know the forensic evidence is there. Um, and that's not really, you know, that's not really a good argument. Okay. It makes me sick to hear you say I'm not a real survivor, that my story isn't valid. How the hell do you know? You weren't there. You don't know what I lived through. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. You weren't there. Okay, well, I wasn't there when she doctored a sonogram or an ultrasound. I wasn't there when she doctored an HCG test. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. Doesn't mean she was telling the truth. You armchair critics have the nerve to say I made it all up. Get a life and stop pretending you were there in 2016 to 17 when he made me feel like a worthless piece of shit and treated me like one, both physically and emotionally. As I told my friends, when he would put a pillow over my head and have sex with me, I felt inhuman, like a cadaver. He said I was too ugly to look at, and I came to believe him. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. You weren't there. I mean, I don't know that anyone has come out and, like, spoken on her behalf really except for the napkin lady, and we've already talked about why I think that happened. I don't think anyone's really come out in support of her, so it's hard for me to believe that, like, her friends, knew he was, or, like, said he was being abusive or whatever, like, I just don't. Again, it's so tricky because, like, you wanna believe people when they say they're, like, victims of this kinda thing, and then when you come across somebody with this little credibility, it's hard. Like, it's hard as someone who's been through that actual abuse to, like, kind of come to terms with and accept the fact that I don't believe that's true. I believe you are lying, because once you admit that this person is, in my opinion, again, lying, then you have to accept the fact that some people just aren't gonna believe you, and that becomes a very scary thing, so and that, again, can bring up some more feelings of shame because you're like, "No one would believe this happened to me," you know? You don't care about the truth. You only care about your twisted narrative and this toxic community you've created about trying to tear one woman down. You call yourselves advocates for justice, but what you really are is a cult. A cult that thrives on harassment, defamation, and cruelty. Don't tell me I wasn't abused. You weren't there. He knows what he did. I know what he did. And the haunting truth is that only we know the full extent of his abuse. You don't. You weren't there. So don't you dare tell me I wasn't abused. Well, Mike was there, and I believe Mike. It's just like when she says stuff like "get a life," I'm like, dude, like you sit here all day and like try to get other people's opinions and like their right to free speech. You try to take that away. Like when you're putting this stuff out into the universe and people have a negative reaction to it, they're allowed to do that. Like I said before, I don't agree with mocking her photos or her appearance or anything like that, but aside from that, like sometimes when you see something this disturbing, like all you can do is deal with it with humor. And that's okay. I believe that's okay. As long as you are not directing it at her, I don't feel like that, and as long as you're talking about her behavior, you're criticizing the actions, you're criticizing what she's done, and you're not criticizing her and you're not mocking her and what she looks like or anything like that. Like I don't I think that everybody has a right to speak out. Everyone has a right to have their opinion. It's not just something I think, it's actually a fact. So, um yeah. But I don't understand telling people to get a life and then like continuing to put out stuff like this that's directed at them and then acting like victimized when they respond. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get through these. I want to make sure I don't ignore any of them. Been married 10 years to my love, it's all good now. Thank you, hear me out. And I'm glad to hear that. 100% respectfully disagree. Ella only wants to be left alone for one reason, to be able to resume her attacks in secret like every predator. Um so hold on, I'll leave that up there. I'm not saying like stop talking about what she's doing. Um I'm saying leave her alone as in do not harass her, do not harass her family, do not harass like don't go out of your way to like find people in her circle and harass them. There's just like there's no reason to do that because there's so many avenues we have here to talk about like how wrong her actions are and what she's done wrong that does not constitute harassment and does not give her fuel for like another legal claim. So I'm not saying leave the case alone. I'm not saying stop sticking up for these victims. I'm saying nobody should be going out of their way to harass or irritate her. So if she continues to find reasons to be irritated, she continues to find reasons to feel negatively about what people are saying, like that's not anyone's fault. That's on her for continuing to do this. Compared the level of constant lies to Casey Anthony, Jodi Arias, but that was logical to try to escape conviction. All those lies are just to destroy. Well, we're starting to see them now, in my opinion, to try to avoid some kind of conviction. So, thank you. Hear me out. I always appreciate it. Teresa Phoenix, thank you for the 5. Found your channel recently, just great. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Tutu Doreen, thank you for the 5. Thank you so much. I had to change who I was listening to. You're awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Like I said, we're gonna get Brad in here shortly. Let me just message him right now. So, because he's gonna go over some of the documents, like the screenshots she had in her post. I didn't show you guys those. I was just showing you the text in a Word document. So, give me just a sec. Hopefully, you didn't fall asleep. It's like 12:05 here. I don't know where it is where he lives, or what time it is where he lives. Okay. Brad, I'll send you a link on Discord. One sec. Trying to remember how to send the link for simulcast. I may make a video about Colts this week, and I'm not happy. Mother Bugger, don't worry, we're gonna go through it again because we have to go over the the media and stuff that was in the Lil Pill. In Australia, her behavior would be considered DV, the threatening to unalive, using pregnancy to manipulate, falsely accusing to get away. Yeah. Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you again, hear me out. IB0093, Internet Hugs Lauren. This blog was triggering and hard to read. Is she dangerous? Thank you, Ivy. Appreciate that. So is she dangerous? I don't know, man. I don't see anything that indicates she's like physically dangerous to anyone. No, but that doesn't mean this isn't gonna get like more and more kind of out there. Um, Actually, Brad can tell me how to do that when he gets in here. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have Brad in here in just a second. Let me give him the invite link, but I just wanted to say again, like before we go through and like compare the pictures and like look at the evidence and stuff like this. Um, I think it's important to continue to kind of stick up for her victims. I believe in what Mike Marracini is saying. That's my opinion. Those are my beliefs. Um, and I believe that if somebody is going to attack someone's character and go after them like this, and that person is innocent, then we would be doing them a disservice by holding back just because that person said some pretty wild things and this person is being manipulative and like can make you feel bad at times, but the behavior always speaks for itself. You know how people always say actions speak louder than words. The behavior speaks for itself. So whenever you start to doubt that, question that, when you have like a highly manipulative individual like this, always, always, always pay attention to what they're doing, saying, and how they're doing it. Okay. And again, like as someone who has been like in an abusive situation and who has survived that and kind of come through it on the other side, and my life has changed dramatically since then. Yeah, this is hard to read sometimes, like stuff like this, but also I believe that not speaking out against it, while it may like like cause some sort of anxiety about like what people will think of other victims, like I believe not speaking out against it is just creating more situations where someone becomes a victim. So hold on one sec. There's Brad.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
All right, I'm just a little tired, man. It's past midnight here. But
Yeah,
are you able to share the stuff from your screen? I don't know if I've ever done that before.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll do entire screen, screen one. All right. So I'm gonna skip over the other stuff because the other stuff really doesn't matter.
Okay.
This is the one that infuriates me the most. So if you remember, she did her TEDx talk, and in her TEDx talk, she claims she had it in here. I thought. Anyway, I'll have to pull it up. But in her TEDx talk, she pulls this photo or a similar photo up and says, actually, I think this might be the photo that she pulls up
Hmm.
and says, I was in Iceland, or I was posting these wonderful photos of Iceland, but I was really in a hospital bed because we had a particularly bad evening. And she shows this photo, or this photo or similar. I don't
Uh-huh.
know what, but she's in this particular get up with IV fluids going into her veins.
Hmm.
She's got the blood pressure cuff on. She's got this particular brand of gown on in this location with her hair splayed out in this one way. The problem with this image is it says that it's from March 1st, 2017. The problem with that is we have photos that say they're from 2016, August 1st.
Wait, let me move us real quick. So yeah, there we go.
So the fact that this photo and the one that we have, it has an image, the numbering scheme for photos with iPhones, it starts at image 0001 and then increments from there.
Hmm.
And each time a new photo is created, it increments again.
Okay.
And then if for whatever reason there's a duplicate, it doesn't care because they're managed by a what's known as a UUID, or it's a generated really long string of numbers and letters,
Okay.
and that's what's used to track it. So the naming is arbitrary in in that respect, just so that it you don't have to worry about duplicates and whatnot.
Hmm.
So if you take a photo and then send that photo to someone, and then they send it back to you, and you save it, it'll have the same name, but then it'll append _2 at the end of it.
Gotcha.
But this photo says it was taken 8/1/2016.
Hmm.
It's got the front facing camera has these particular resolution pieces of it. You got iPhone 6, aperture is 2.2, and you look at the blog, front facing camera, f aperture 2.2, same, basically everything. This photo was taken in a line of photos where she's trying to get the right look.
Okay.
The interesting thing is the photo that I just showed you was the one after this photo was taken.
Can we go back to that one?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, so these were taken obviously, like you said, in a string of photos, like around on the same date,
Yep.
and now we have a different date on one of them.
On this one particularly.
Okay, the one that she's
But
posting. Yeah,
but you look at the file name. This one is 7538. This one says 7537.
537. Yeah. Okay. So for other people who are like really tech confused, can you like explain like we're five, and say what's going on here?
So she's claiming that this photo again is of her at she talks about these things and she posts this and she says, well, it says here March 1st at 9:30 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
but no, that's not it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, the date on this image changed.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but you don't get similarities to the point where the the gown, the blanket, the IV equipment, the blood pressure cuff look near identical. The hair pattern near identical, including the swoop here and the
Mm-hmm.
strand that comes down there. You don't get that level of detail twice in the same. You just can't do it. You can't stage it like that.
And that one looks like very filtered too. Obviously, it looks like
It's
brightened up.
pixelated because it's
Yeah.
really this is a picture of me taking a screenshot of the preview.
Gotcha. Yeah. Damn, dude. That's crazy though that she keeps like doing this when she knows now that there are ways to tell these things, and she keeps putting that out there.
This is the full resolution picture. You can zoom in as much as you want. You can get the name of the.
Wait, that has a lot number on it.
Hmm?
That has a lot number on it. Can you zoom in again? Is there any
That's,
way to see? Is the number on the bottom there where it says lot number? Is it the same in the other photo?
I would imagine it is, but yeah, that photo is pretty oversaturated. Can I rotate it? No, I can't. I can rotate this one though. To my unadulterated eyes, it looks like a P15B, and that looks like a P15B going up the side.
So what are the odds that she has the exact same tag? Even if the dates weren't different.
99.9%. We'll go with that.
Let's ask
'Cause
Dr. Medchill. Yo. Wow. Okay, so this is pretty big. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Like, there were some other pictures on there, weren't there?
there's
I know
plenty
they're
of
not
other
the same,
pictures, but not they're ones that I have or have
yeah,
intimate
gotcha.
knowledge of.
Uh-huh.
This is the one that I can speak to pretty dang
Yeah.
effortlessly.
So somebody had mentioned to me earlier also like some of the other photos she has in here, it looks like it could be like an allergic shiner.
I mean, yeah, we can go back to the top of it,
Yeah.
but I can't speak to it.
I mean, I'm not, a doctor or anything, so I can't say, but it looks, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I obviously can't say for sure either, but I don't really know that that couldn't be caused by an allergic reaction. So that's just throwing that out there.
Some people were saying that you don't get bruising on the inside of your eye except for a concussion. And
Hmm.
I don't have any medical degree of that can speak to it, but if that's the case, then that's not a beating because if you're punching someone, you generally don't punch them into the eye socket. You get the
Right.
cheekbone first, and then that's where you're going to be bruising.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we have some people in the chat who have done some sort of. I know somebody who has. I don't know if she's in here though. Let's see. Somebody says Brad could have many successful careers.
If
Yeah.
they could pay me well enough, yes.
Yeah. My friend has an allergic reaction this moment to the sun and drank too much the other night. She woke up looking a lot like this. Just saying. Huh. We'll have to wait till Brad gets back because it's his image on the screen. Oh, Big Tiff is here. Tiff, could you a couple people answered my question earlier, but just for shits and gigs, if Michael Marracini were not asked directly about the cancer situation in the deposition, is it likely that he would just not have brought it up because of that? Um, how likely is it that he would have brought it up if he was not asked about it? Let me see if I can get someone who's hold on. Hey.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
My very quiet house, and I suddenly heard a very dry cough, and I was trying to figure out where it was coming from, and it's from my old man of a dog. And I was like, dude, are you okay?
Sorry, I'm just tagging somebody real quick. People were asking if you could zoom in on the eye. Okay, thank you for answering that. There's no way a lawyer is going to let you answer a question in a depo you aren't asked. Okay. Big Ziff said not likely, so that's cool.
And according to Mike, he didn't even remember that. And when these depots were happening in 2018, the documents were sent to him in 2016. So,
Okay, yeah. That's true. I don't know what. I think it. Okay. She's just typically the bruising from being hit would be under or around. Yeah, I think that's what Brad was getting at. Trying to see if I could get Schnitzel in here. I don't know if they are available though.
no, there was no data. This image, for whatever reason, does not have any metadata on it. So I can't figure out when it is or anything. And it's in a really weird format called WebP.
Gotcha. WebP. I've seen WebP photos. Usually, isn't that when somebody wants you to not be able to use it or something?
It's not that. It's just a newer kind of format, and it could be that when you upload stuff to Medium, it reformats all of the images to
Okay.
WebP.
I don't know what I would do with this kind of small detail stuff if you were not here. So
That's why I said tag team.
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking at a couple things here that people sent me, to make sure I didn't miss anything important. Yeah, somebody sent me a whole list of points, and I'm trying to track it down here. Hang on.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for one, they brought up the bruises that she was hiding. Could have been from falling off of horses, which we saw. Before that was taken down, and I believe that it's up now in several places. So.
If concussions can cause bruising around the inner eye, then that would be a very likely thing. And according, well, this says May 5th, 2017. Um, I didn't see that until just now, so let's see.
And I'm sending the StreamYard link to Schnitzel Ninja, see if we can get them on here.
I mean, there's a high likelihood she was riding a horse on 5517.
5517?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get Schnitzel Ninja on here. I'm just trying to got them the link. Tug said he's gonna plaster that video falling off a horse everywhere. He's pissed about the strike. Yeah.
So, picture of a horse that was taken on 5517.
Damn. This is so crazy, dude. Big Tiff says I could text myself and create the same iMessage chain. So this is the first I've heard about her being reached out to by the other girlfriend, or the one that he dated after her. Has that narrative been out there before?
I've not heard of that. We didn't know the name of the person that came out, and it wasn't until very recently that she posted a first name that we had. So Karen is apparently her first name, and then in this, I think you get a last name in there as well.
Wait, where did it say that?
It's in an image. Let me
Oh, okay. That's why I wasn't looking at the images when I was reading.
let me pull that down. Yeah. She redacted it, but she forgot to redact the second page.
Yikes. Okay.
So that's on you. You just doxed your supposed star witness or star
Yeah.
friend. So
To be clear, nobody should be contacting this woman at all
no,
whatsoever.
absolutely not.
Can't believe
And
we have to say that. But,
shame on any of you who try and contact that person.
Yeah. Don't dox me either. Sonny or Chris, acted non-verba, deeds not words. Yeah. Thank you, Sonny or Chris.
Actually, there we go.
Crystal says, what I want Brad to compare is hospital pic and the so-called abuse pic. She has discolor around her eyes and face. Huh. I think, didn't we did that, right?
No. So
We didn't? Okay.
Let me pull it up.
It's in the starred comments still. Guys, Schnitzel Ninja is going to come on stage now. If you didn't know, they were the ones that posted the video of the falling off the horse. Hey.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Great.
So you posted that horse video and it got taken down twice, right?
Yes, the first one was a compilation of two falls, one from May 10th, 2017, and one from June 30th, 2017.
Okay.
That compilation was taken down by Laura with, can I say her name here?
Yeah.
Okay. With her email address, and then I uploaded just the June 30th, 2017, as that belongs to someone else. The copyright does not belong to Laura or anyone in her family, regardless what she likes to say on Medium or elsewhere. And her mother reported, or Laura as her mom, reported that one under the same email address.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to ask you about the most was after you saw that. What your thought? What went through your mind when you saw that?
That she's scared, she's intimidated, and she's about to reach rock bottom. I think we're getting under her skin.
Yeah.
And I think that there's going to be more shots fired from her, but we're prepared.
What? Hold on. Sorry, something in there. Oh, Brad, I just saw that. Sorry. Well, we Oh my gosh, I cannot do two things at once. I swear to God. So, we saw that that her and her mom had your stuff taken down, but have they ever tried to contact you directly about it?
No,
Okay.
no, and thankfully they don't know who I am. So,
Yeah, that's good. I just didn't know if they had tried to message or like somehow got your email or something.
no, not to my knowledge.
Okay.
And surprise, I'm a girl.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to put the banners back down so people can see your username. Give me one sec.
It should be under brand, I think.
Brand. Oh, there it is. I took it off for the trial stream. There we go. Cool. Yes, everybody. Schnitzel Ninja is in the stream right now, and Schnitzel Ninja is a girl.
It's a girl. And I'm not on Reddit very much. I have a very busy, very important job
Mm-hmm.
that I really don't have a whole lot of extra time to do all this stuff. But anyway, she reported my Reddit account today, and that was banned as well.
Did they say permanently banned, or can you
Yeah.
appeal it? Okay.
I can appeal it. Yep, I did appeal
Okay.
it.
Good. I don't know how often does that turn around. I don't know, but
I actually just got a notification for it as I was on the call, but I don't know if
okay.
I can switch over.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'll find
You
out
can,
after we're done.
Yeah, no problem. Ninja, her article says it got sent video to, so Mike owns that copy. Yeah. And then Twisted says, thanks for all you posted, Schnitzel Ninja.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think you have a lot of fans over here.
It's all in the name of justice.
I don't know if you can see like whatever device you're using on the side, the live comments coming up, but yeah, some of those older court videos too. I never would have known how to track those down. So
Yeah, it was challenging at first, but once you know how to do it, it's easier.
Gotcha. Brad's gonna show us something here.
Well, so the one on the right is the photo from the TEDx talk, and you've got the inlaid photo here, and then they blew it up a little bit here so that you could be able to see it. And we were speculating for the longest time. We were like, is this photoshopped? What's going on here? Because in the photo that I have, her eyes are closed, so we're like, did she just filter it and it like made her eye bigger? No, because it's two separate photos. This one was taken after this one, and they're the same. It's this one is oversaturated and blown out because you get zero definition on the crease right here, but you can see right here the start of the crease that is right here being full, or the fold being over. And then you've got the white cuff banner for the front of the gown right there. You've obviously got the patch for the gown.
Yeah, with the same lot number on it.
I don't think you're going to be able to get the lot number on any
Not
of
off
these.
that one,
but
I'm just assuming.
You look at the light spots off her nose, so that would be the overhead lighting in the hospital room that she's in. They show the exact same two dots that you would here, even though this photo is on the right is blown out. You can see it. The rosacea on her face, even when it's blurred, you can see this larger patch on her left eye, and then you can see large pronounced red right here.
Gotcha.
So they're the identical photo.
That's so crazy, dude. Hang on, sorry.
So
I want to retweet the horsefall video on Twitter, but I can't find it anywhere. I don't know if it's on Twitter. I don't even. Our Schnitzel Ninja, are you on Twitter?
No, I'm not.
I did not.
But I can make sure it gets in your hands.
Okay. Does she have a best girlfriend? I mean, I think somebody said something about like she used to have one, and then they had like reached out to Mike. Is that right?
Uh, yeah, so Laura did several of the same things that she's done to these guys to this friend, and
Okay.
yeah,
She didn't do the pregnancy thing, right?
not that one,
Okay.
but self-harm and all the good other good stuff that she likes to
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
Um, yep, and then they stopped being friends in 2020, kind of when COVID hit. It was the other person's free get out of jail free card.
Well. Okay. Um. All right, guys. Does anybody have any other questions for Schnitzel Ninja or Brad before I go to bed?
I got to get up with the boy in
Oh yeah.
6 hours probably. So
Give it like 2 seconds in the comments here. Maybe something will pop up. Yes, it is on Twitter. I've retweeted it 3 times. I see. Okay. People are pretty mad about the Reddit thing.
Yeah, it's fine. I can always get another account
Yeah,
and repost all my stuff. So
you just hate to kind of let her have that, but
yeah,
that's
it's
what it
fine.
is.
But she didn't delete me. She didn't ban me.
Yeah, right.
So I'm still here. I'm still
Yeah,
fighting for justice, and I won't be done until she's gotten what she deserves.
yeah. All right, let me pull up some of these. I think we saw this one already. Yep, that was Crystal. Risa Murphy. Raccoon eyes tend to appear 2 to 3 days after injury. Huh, I did not know that.
but the we know that the photo of the supposed abuse says May 5th, 2017, and I have a photo of May 5th, 2017 that shows a horse. So
Hmm,
it's very possible that something could have happened with a horse.
gotcha.
Absolutely.
Karen Karsten. Her bruising looks like a concussion injury, just described by an expert in the Karen Reed trial. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not strangulation. If I mean,
Well, there's nothing
like
around the neck, really.
yeah, and
Um,
even the eyes, the way the eyes will be bloodshot,
Yeah, right.
it's just not that.
Yeah.
Bruce says an executive summary. Executive summary is she's lying, and I have full confidence in that because the photos that we have from Mike says that she was in the hospital before a Planned Parenthood visit on 8/1. She said she needed to get fluids before they would do an abortion, and she took a large string of photos between during that time while she was getting these fluids. One of the photos that we have was taken at oh no, that's the other one. My screenshot's gone. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Nice background, Brad.
Thank you. So this one was taken at 9:39 a.m. This is photo number 7538. In this one, we have photo number 7537. Because of the way that iPhones do their numbering, that this would be taken the photo immediately prior to this one.
Hey, Brad, could you send me those pictures? Like email them or something.
Yeah.
The ones we compared before with the tags. Not like right this second. Just saying. Okay. Can we see text from Mike on this close-up pic date? What does that mean?
I don't have permission for any sharing of text messages, so I'm not
Gotcha.
going to do that.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly what that meant. I didn't know if it was like in the screenshot or something. But yeah, Brad, are you gonna keep streaming, or do you want to go? Are you gonna log off for the night?
I'm probably going to log off for the night.
Okay, because I'm about there. I'm ready for bed. So,
I'm gonna keep fighting the good fight tonight.
oh, cool. Yeah. Or wait, are you gonna do you want to stay on YouTube? Or are you gonna stream on your channel, or are you just like doing your stuff behind the
Oh,
scenes?
just my ninja shit.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well,
Ninja, check out the private chat before you go.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Okay, and then I had one more star chat. Hang on. Has anyone investigated how Elo can keep competing in the 12 to 14-year-old division equestrian competition, or why she keeps getting 6th to 10th place? I have no idea. You would have to ask someone who knows horses, and I do not know horses.
I actually got an answer to this. So if you go up to the next level, you're competing against trainers and actually skilled riders, where she would probably never place because of the level rider she is. And that's not, it is what it is. That's what level she's at, and that's that.
I mean, there's no shame in that, really, in my opinion. So
no, but I suspect that would be my thought as to why she's not going up, because she would probably never place. So she stays in the amateur division, and I don't know what the age restrictions are, but she's still able to do it at 34.
I think it turns over at 35.
So we'll have one more year of the junior hunter division.
And at that point, I think it's just you're doing it for fun more so than competition.
I have a close friend who's an equestrian rider, so it's a good contact to have. And it's not Laura.
What's that? Grandma Linda. Hey, Grandma Linda. Thanks for coming in. Good night, Lauren and Brad. Schnitzel Ninja, you're one of the best. She attacks because she fears you. And then we got Hear Me Out. Thank you for the 2. It's like Kramer in Karate Class. Kramer in Karate Class? I didn't see a lot of that show, but yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna log off for the night. Won the stream here, but thank you everybody for being here. I'm sure we'll have some more stuff to talk about tomorrow, and Brad, I'm sure, can answer some more questions about all this stuff as well. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Thanks.